Now in the second part of the video, hopefully you've seen the first, and we're not calling this part 1, part 2 really, but after the last video I ran in, downloaded it on the computer, and I haven't touched the gasifier period, and I hope you can see how well it's working. What we're going to cover here, not only the continuation of the gasifier, but the carbon filter. You know, I carry the Sawyer, and that's great, but I do live in a farming community, so I am a little bit concerned about pesticides and stuff, and I'm hoping this will, you know, just help in filtering the water, any kind of pesticides or anything. And all it is some simple PVC. I believe the center gray section, and I'm sorry I didn't save the bags, but I just randomly went through either Home Depot or Lowe's, whichever store it was, and picked up and just walked around until I found what I needed. I picked up this gray section and 2 PVC ends and some brass fittings. All I did was the ends. So I drilled it in. I don't have a tap and die type set, so I drilled it in, and if you secure it, you can screw these in quite easily. And one thing to keep in mind, if your water flow is like I plan on mine, your water is already supposedly filtered coming in here, so if you do get any kind of leak that runs down the outside, it's already been processed through the Sawyer. On the inside of this, I simply, in each cap, put some of this algae pad from Betco, cut me out some small circles, placed it on the inside of the cap, and this is not a filter material. It's not what I'm using it for. It's simply to keep the charcoal inside the tube, and it's the same on both sides. You just put it on, lock it down, and it doesn't matter which way you flow it. I mean, you can flow it this way one time, you can flow it that way the next time, if that's what you want to do, because everything's actually hopefully been pre-filtered by like a bandana, gone through the Sawyer, and this is just removing chemicals and taste. That's all this is used for. As far as the carbon goes, this is what I picked up at Petco. You get 3 packages in this box for $4. They are airtight. They come in this mesh bag, but I simply clipped the top, filled up my tube, rolled that up, and then rolled it up and put it, and actually I have the remaining bag of this in my bug out bag, and that way I can refill this if needed 3 times. And I've got some spare cutouts of my floss, and that's what I've done to enhance the Sawyer, because I use it in a drip situation. One thing you need to understand about activated carbon is why they ship it sealed, is because it starts absorbing almost instantaneously anything and everything, odors, chemicals, anything. So I simply just cut some fingers off some disposable gloves and use some rubber bands to cap the ends. Now you wouldn't want to do this until the any moisture has been dried up on the inside, so let it dry up. I'm using this because I have pre-flushed it to get any residue off the carbon. Then I filled it, and then I capped it. But you don't want to cap it if it's moist, because even in a carbon environment, things can grow. One of the last things we're going to talk about, next to the last thing we're going to talk about, will be not the SOL bag, because this could be the epic fail of our video, because I just modified this last night and I should have given it more time laid flat before I rolled it up. So we're going to take care of our tarp first. The only thing on the tarp I've done is simply a Walmart tarp, and excuse me, make sure you can still see me now. Yep. It's normally on the front as opposed to the back. I use a pole, but there's been several times I could have just lashed it to a tree. So I decided to add a pull out. And what I did here is I simply used a piece of nylon that I got off an old pack, stitched across it so it wouldn't open up, and then flared it. Turn sideways so maybe you can see what I'm doing. Put it on there, and what I've done is I just worked some silicone sealer into it, slipped it on, and applied some pressure, just added some weight to it, and I approximated till I thought it was about 3/4 of the way cured. And then what I did is I stitched through it, pulling through both sides of this pull tab webbing. And after I got it stitched, I worked some silicone sealer on both sides. I also did the same basic thing, because this tarp is an 8x10. Say this is the 8 and this is the 10. And I took 3 more of these. There again, just sewing across them to leave a loop. And then I expanded them and put silicone sealer, laid them down till they set up pretty good, about 3/4. And then I took a piece of flat nylon and I coated it with silicone, and I laid it under there and let it set up so they were lined up. And then I stitched through the top layer of the tarp and the base layer and weighted it. Then we came back the next morning and actually stitched through it, and then there again, just like here, you can't even see the stitching because I just took some simple silicone sealer or RTV and just rubbed it all over. Now I've used this now twice since I've done this. Once, no rain at all. It held up, no high winds. Second time I used it, no high winds, and it actually did, I guess you could say, rain, but it was more, in my opinion, you want to be honest about it, a heavy mist. But I got no leakage from it. Now this is the SOL, the cheapest you can get from SOL bivy bag, and the reason I wanted this is because I'm transitioning from the winter months to the summer months, and I wanted something for the spring and fall, and I wanted to drop some weight. I wanted to lose my wool blanket. Just as a reference, let's look at our gasifier. I think we can see that it's definitely gasifying. There's a good swirl going on. I don't think there's any impaired vision going on because of smoke. We're inside my shop, which was just like a 16 or 18 foot by maybe around 24 foot. Just to point that out. And one thing I wanted to show is I did this last night and I haven't tried it. I don't know how it's going to work. But I wanted to show that everybody that it does still fit in the original little sack that comes in, although it's normally only about this tall. But like I said, it's tight in here. I added a zipper to it because I'm getting old and wiggling my old self into a bag just doesn't appeal to me, let's just say. I prefer to have a zipper. So what we have here is the SOL bag. We're going to try to keep it away from that the fire right here, so I'm going to kind of push that over. I'm trying not to burn anything up here. I watched a video a young man had done on one of these, and now he did put his zipper straight through the middle, which is kind of irrelevant. Because no matter where you put the zipper, you can always turn it over because there is no definitive left, right, top, or bottom. But what I bought and what he used is one of these, and you can usually find them at Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're tarp zippers, and they're pretty cool. Now they are 7 feet long, and as it is, the bag is 7 feet long. Now I didn't think I needed a zipper that was 7 feet long, so I started mine at the top, came down to the bottom, and I cut mine. Now for a zipper stop, I just put a staple, I believe it was like 5/16 staple, took my needle nose pliers and bent it over in case I zipped down too far it wouldn't run off the tracks. And like I said, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm very pleased with what I see now that I unroll it, because I simply stuck it, and that's all you do is you just stick it down on the sides and the center, and then you unzip it, and you take your scissors or razor blade or something and you cut the bag open or the tarp open, and this way my old self will be able to fold this back like a bed. It'll help me get, if I need to, my wool blanket inside of it. My wool blanket has a zipper in it, and that way, you know, I can just slide my feet in. You know, it's just easier on an old person. And pull back over. The zipper is really cool. One thing I love about it, it's maybe call it a two-way zipper, but it has the little, hold it over here so you can see it. You can zipper it from the inside or the outside. So it's got dual tangs on it. And like I said, the zipper comes 7 feet long. And I could have done it all the way to the foot. Some people might say, well, you compromise the whole integrity of the product. For me, I don't think so, because now I can get into it easier. I don't have to stress it as much, and none of my reviews am I telling anybody that this is what they have to have. I'm just trying to show you what I'm using and trying to spark some thinking. But I'm really tickled that I could stick this down and then roll it up and get it back into the storage sack. And when I rolled it out, it hadn't puckered or come loose anywhere. And I'm pretty certain now that this is going to take care of me, because now, you know, I can unzip the side and get in. And I mean, to me, this is great. It's a lot easier to get into your bed than it is to wiggle into a Ziploc bag. So, you know, I'm going to leave it at that, because these zippers are pretty cool. By the way, the zippers, between $8 and $9. They're a little pricey, but I'm really impressed with the adhesion here. I mean, it's not puckering, coming loose anywhere. So, kick it around, see what you think. I appreciate you looking. Sorry if I may bore you. But if you'll hang around, just maybe, I might be able to show you something cool. Y'all have a good night now. Thank you.